यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन यमुना तीरावन चारी यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन यमुना तीरावन चारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गिरिवरधारी यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन यमुना तीरावन चारी यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन चारी हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्णा हरे कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्णा जय राधा मदन मोहन राधे जय जगन्नाथ बलदेवा जय सुभद्रा जय जगन्नाथ जय सुभद्रा जगन्नाथ स्वामी नयन पथगामी भावो तुम्हें जगन्नाथ स्वामी नयन पथ तुम्हें जगन्नाथ स्वामी नयन पथगामी भावो तुम्हें निताय गौरांगो गौर हरि हरे जय सच्चिनंदन गौर हरि पतिता पवाना गौर हरि जय जय प्रभुपाद जय जय प्रभुपाद ओ निताय गौरा हरि बोल, हरि बोल, हरि बोल, निताय गौर हरि बोल। श्री 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 राधा मदन मोहन भगवान की, श्री जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा मैया की, श्री गौर निताय की, ऐसी भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी श्रील प्रभुपाद की, श्री ब्रह्म मध्व गौड़ी गुरु परंपरा सांप्रदाय की, ऑल असेंबल डिवोटीज की, निताय गौर हरि प्रेमानंदे। हरि हरि बोल। ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरोन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरुं वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातां सहगना रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजना सहितं कृष्ण चैतन्य देवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपदान् सहगना ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधो दीनबंधो जगतपते गोपेशा गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचना गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्णा चैतन्य प्रभो नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधार श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये। नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी। कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकीनन्दनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः। नमः पंकजनाभाय नमः पंकजमालिने नमः पंकजनेत्राय नमस्ते पंकजांग्रये। नमो महाबदन्याय कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदायते। कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नामिने गौरत्विषे नमः। नमो ब्राह्मण्याय देवाय गौ ब्राह्मणाहिताय च जगद्दिताय कृष्णाय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः। नमः ओं विष्णुपदाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी निति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हुकुम करोति वाचालं पंगुं लंघयते गिरिं यत्कृपः वंदे श्रीगुरो दीनतारिणं श्री परमानंद माधवं श्री चैतन्य ईश्वरम्। ओम पवित्रो पवित्रो वा सर्वावस्थं गतोऽपि वा यत्स्मरेत् पुण्डरीकाक्षः सहाभ्याभ्यन्तरं शुचि। श्री विष्णु श्री विष्णु श्री विष्णु। Hare Krishna. We'll recite from Canto 5, Chapter 5, verse 14. कर्माशयं हृदय ग्रन्थिबन्धं कर्माशयं हृदय ग्रन्थिबन्धं अविद्या अशादितम् अपरमत्ता अविद्या असादितम् अपरमत्ता अनेन योगेन यथोपदेशम् अनेन योगेन यथोपदेशम् सम्यक् व्यपोह्य उपरमेत योगात् सम्यक् व्यपोह्य उपरमेत योगात् कर्माशयं हृदय ग्रन्थिबन्धम् अविद्यया आशादितम् अपरमत्ता अनेन योगेन यथा उपदेशम् अनेन योगेन यथोपदेशम् सम्यक् व्यपोह्य अपरमेत योगात्। Hare Krishna. Any Prabhujis want to recite? कर्माशया हृदय ग्रन्थिबन्धम् विद्या शादितम् अपरमत्ता अनेन योगेन यथोपदेशम् सम्यक् व्यपोह्य अपरमेत योगात्। वृन्दम् प्रमेत योगात्। माताजी आशयं हृदय ग्रन्थिबन्धम् अनेन योगेन यथोपदेशम् Samyak vyopyo aparameta yoga. Any Matajis? Karmashayam hridaya grandhi bandham yashrityam aparamatta anena yogena yatopadesham. Hare Krishna. Please repeat after me. Karma ashayam, the desire for fruitive activities. Hridaya grandhi, the knot in the heart. Bandham, bondage. Avidyaya, because of ignorance. Ashaditam, brought about. Aparamatta, not being covered by ignorance or illusion. Very careful. Anena, by this. Yogena, practice of yoga. Yatha upadesham, as advised. Samyak, completely. Vyapohya, becoming free from. Uparameta, one should desist. Yogat, from the practice of yoga, means the liberation, the means of liberation. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki. Please repeat the translation after me. As I have advised you, my dear sons, you should act accordingly. Be very careful. By these means, you will be freed from the ignorance of the desire for fruitive activity, and the knot of bondage in the heart will be completely severed. For further advancement, you should also give up the means. That is, you should not become attached to the process of liberation itself. Hare Krishna. So I'll read the purport. Please attentively hear. The process of liberation is Brahma Jignasa, the search for the absolute truth. Generally, Brahma Jignasa is called Neti Neti, the process by which one analyzes existence to search out the absolute truth. This method continues as long as one is situated in a spiritual life. Spiritual life is Brahma Bhuta, the self-realized state. In the words of Bhagavad Gita 18.54, Brahma Bhuta Prasannatma na sochati na kankshati samah sarvesu vedeshu mad bhaktim labate param. One who is thus transcendently situated at once realizes the Supreme Brahman and becomes fully joyful. He never laments nor desires to have anything. He is equally disposed to every living entity. In that state, he attains pure devotional service unto me. The idea is to enter into the Para Bhakti, the transcendental devotional service of the Supreme Lord. To attain this, one must analyze one's existence, but when one is actually engaged in devotional service, he should not bother seeking out knowledge. By simply engaging in devotional service undeviatingly, one will always remain in the liberated condition. Mamchayo abhicharena bhakti yogena sevate sagunan samatityaitan brahma bhuyaya kalpate. Bhagavad Gita 14.26. The unflinching execution of the devotional service is in itself Brahma Bhuta. Another important feature in this connection is Anena Yogena Yatopadesham. The instructions received from the spiritual master must be followed immediately. One should not deviate from or surpass the instructions of spiritual master. One should not be simply intent on consulting books, but should simultaneously execute the spiritual master's order, Yathopadesham. Mystic power should be achieved to enable one to give up the material conception. But when one actually engages in devotional service, one does not need to practice the mystic yoga system. The point is that one can give up the practice of yoga, but devotional service cannot be given up. As stated in Srimad Bhagavatam 1.7.10, Atmaramascha munayo nirgrantha api urukrame kuruvanti ahoiti kim bhaktim itham bhuta guno hari. Even those who are liberated, Atmarama, must always engage in devotional service. One may give up the practice of yoga when one is self-realized, but at no stage can one give up devotional service. All other activities for self-realization, including yoga and philosophical speculation, may be given up, but devotional service must be retained at all times. Hare Krishna. I'll read the translation again. As I have advised you, my dear sons, you should act accordingly. Be very careful. By these means, you will be freed from the ignorance of the desire for fruitive activity, and the knot of bondage in the heart will be completely severed. For further advancement, you should also give up the means. That is, you should not become attached to the process of liberation itself. Hare Krishna. Rishabh Dev ki jai, and his sons ki jai. So, first of all, I'm very grateful to the authorities here, especially our seniors who are sitting here, namely Vishnu Prasad Prabhu and Hare Krishna, Venugopal Prabhu, and everybody else who is here, who has allowed me and given me this opportunity to come and read what Srila Prabhupada has given for us, what Veda Vyas has given for us. We are so fortunate that we have access to this kind of instructions. This is one of the most important chapters in entire Srimad Bhagavatam, Rishabh Dev's teachings to his sons. Because here a father, Supreme Father, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the same Sri Krishna who appears as Rishabh Dev, is giving the instructions. What was given in Bhagavad Gita is being repeated here in a different way, but with the same meaning and essence to his sons. And we are all his sons. We are all the children of God. So pretty much these instructions are for us also, right? And these instructions, if we follow, what is the one thing that will happen? The bond of material, the bondage of material thing will be loosened, or rather it will be cut off. And once that is cut off, we all can go back home to Krishna, right? So these instructions are very, very important. But I was thinking, when I was reading this, I read the previous verses also and some next verses also. I was thinking, how important are these instructions that in every house a father has to give to his sons, right? But unfortunately, with the progress of Kali Yuga, the only person children don't listen is their father. If you tell, you belong to different generation, you don't understand, right? But it's so unfortunate. And of course, even the fathers, from 1960 to 1990, I don't know what they were doing, because because there was no proper spiritual education being given. And Srila Prabhupada opened Iskcon Society, and such kind of discourses and such kind of revelations from scriptures are being discussed. Otherwise, where it is happening? Even if fathers want to tell their children what they want to tell, they don't know what to tell, because they don't know what has to be told. And when you don't repeat the message of God, any instruction that comes even from the parents is not very appealing for the children. They feel, he is trying to tell for his advantage. But here God is speaking for everyone's advantage, right? And because of this, Rishabh Dev in the previous verses is telling his sons that how difficult it is to cross this material ocean. How passionately people are living in this material world. How difficult it is to tell them, Arey Baba, there is something beyond this also, right? I come from a place called, the other western side of the city called Gachibowli, where it's kind of Pichiboli. People have forgotten why they are existing. We don't know what people are doing. If you go to the signal in that Wipro junction, you'll see people come in their bikes. They're waiting to go to office. And some devotees from, Attapur temple, they go and they distribute, even from abbots, many brahmacharis, they go and they try to distribute Bhagavad Gita. Prabhu, take Bhagavad Gita. And they say, why you have to take Bhagavad Gita? I have to go to office, fill my time sheet. Arey, tera time nahi hai, arey baba. Read the Bhagavad Gita. They don't have any clue. People are all in a rush, right? Just day before yesterday, I was going in my car and one fellow was honking from behind. Pa, 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 was honking. Why are you honking? There is a bus in front of me, right? I mean, and there is a signal. Even if I want, I can't go unless the bus goes. I'm sure you would have experienced something like that. What is going on honking? Pa, 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 pa. What is going on? I just took a little to the left. Then I realized between me and the bus, there is around 6 meters. Right? I just left those 6 meters. That is a mistake I did. And that fellow's life's ambition is to get into that 6 meters. You know what I'm saying? And somehow he sneaked in and went to that 6 meters. And then he looked at me as if, I'm a mental fellow. Why I did not, occupy that 6 meters. And I was looking at him saying, you are a mental fellow. Why are you occupying that 6 meters? Because anyway, that is a signal. Right? Anyway, that is a signal. What are you trying to go into that 6 meters and do? I am sitting here. I am also waiting. You are sitting there. You are also waiting. Such a simple thing to see, no? But until we hear from Srila Prabhupada, we don't understand that this material world is like that only. I am sitting here. He is trying to compete me and go in front of me. Ultimately stuck there only. He is not going to go anywhere far. Right? The death is right there standing. Signal, red signal. Tera ho gaya. Right? And after that, what will happen? Again, new body. Next signal. What is the rush? What are you trying to achieve between signals? Nothing. Right? Rishabdev is trying to tell that perform devotional service with enthusiasm. Follow the instructions of the spiritual master. Take diksha from a guru. Follow his path that is telling. And he will come back to me. Janma karma chame divyam evam yoti tattvataha Yaktya deham punarjanma naiti mamiti. So Arjuna, very simple. Just hear the janma, karma, and all the activities of the Supreme Lord, and you'll go back to Krishna. As simple as that. Right? You don't need to do so much speculative knowledge and do so much yoga and do so much, I don't know. So many things are happening in the name of yoga today. Right? The only thing that doesn't happen in yoga is devotion. Everything else is happening. So many yoga institutes are there. So much business. Today, yoga is the biggest business. But the real business of yoga is what? Devotion. But that they are not teaching. Right? Everybody wants to claim his own type of yoga. But Prabhupada explained that the goal of Bhagavad Gita is Bhakti Yoga. Rishabdev is telling the same thing and he's telling, don't forget that Bhakti. Do the yoga. You want to sit straight, sit straight. But also point your soul towards Krishna. Otherwise, you will sit straight like that only. Right? Next life also you'll sit straight. What is the problem? What is the point? How many want to take birth here again and learn Pythagoras theorem? Huh? You are excited? I am not excited. I am done with mathematics. Right? The only math is I have to chant 108 rounds. 108. My God. Hare Krishna. I have to chant 108 mantras and 16 malas. That is my mathematics. If I do that, that is the ultimate math which will take me back to Krishna. Right? That's all we need to remember. And that's all is needed. Everything else is illusion. We are trying to live in an illusion, trying to build our houses, trying to build our so-called things that we want to recognize with. Right? Everybody wants to go to some other place for enjoyment. Right? Today's Prabhupada quote is about a tortoise. Our tortoise keeps its senses outside, and when it sees any danger, it pulls it inside. It's a verse in Bhagavatam actually. So Prabhupada is trying to tell we should become like the tortoise. Just remove the senses to the extent you want to work in this material world. Then immediately pull it inside. Otherwise, everybody is suffering. Even Brahma, when he's made this material world, he made everything. Just imagine, you made something nice, and then you're wondering, why did you make it? Right? What is that verse? Tridhatunena imamuhur ardhyamana sitoshna varsher itara itarascha kamagnina chutarusha sudurbarena Sampash. See the theme. Sorry, I'm forgetting the last line. Brahma is telling, Are, what kind of creation did I create? Filled with all kinds of problems. Right? Sitoshna Vata Varashar, Itara Itarascha. He's telling Itara, I can't even tell more, etc. etc. So many problems are there. Kamagnina Achutarusha Sudurbarena. Everybody is burning in kama, lust. Everybody is hungry. Right? Everybody is hungry now, right? Don't worry, I'll finish the class on time. Because senses are not stopping. Where is my next breakfast? As if this is the goal of life. Right? We want to have our breakfast. We want to have our lunch. Because what is the problem? The body is like that. It is never tired of eating. Right? It is never satiated with whatever you give. It is not enough. I want more, I want more, I want more. Right? That is the nature. But devotional service that Srila Prabhupada has so beautifully presented from Srimad Bhagavatam, if you perform it, you will be satisfied. Right? It's not like that breakfast, which will not satisfy you even after eating. But devotional service will satisfy us. And the beauty is, you want to do it more and more and more and more and more. There is no end to the devotional service. Right? And Narad Muni tells in Srimad Bhagavatam to Vedavyas the glories of devotional service. And many of you who are coming to this temple, maybe first time or you're already here, who have performed some devotional service. How many have offered a flower to Srila Prabhupada today? Yeah. Hare Krishna, ho gaya. Narad Muni is telling, Navai Janajato Kathanchana Avrajet Mukunda Sevi Anyavad Anga Samshriti Smaran Mukundangri Upaguhanam Puna Vihatum Ichena Rasagraha Jana. Beautifully is telling that once if you have performed devotional service in your life, once, even if you want to fall down, you cannot. Even if you fall down, you will not go to hellish planets. This is a promise from Narad Muni to Vyasadeva. He is telling whatever you have written, whatever this devotion is, it is so great that by keeping one flower in front of Srila Prabhupada, none of us are going to see Yamaloka. We will not see. It's a promise from. And the beauty is Rasagraha Jana. The moment you have experienced even some devotional service, like Prabhuji made so many people dance this way, that way, that way, this way. Did you enjoy it? It was nice. Right? I didn't dance because I have some back pain. Right? But it is so nice. When you dance, when you sing, when you're so joyful, right? Mataji's, Prabhuji's, youngsters, old people also. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in Chaitanya Charitamrita, when he's talking about Rath Yatra, he made those groups of, Kirtan parties around the Rath, before in front of the Rath, and the in charge of the Rath was not a young person. The in charge was a very old person, Advaita Acharya, right? Haridas Thakur, like that. That means old people are also supposed to dance. In Iskcon society, everybody will dance. For the pleasure of Shri Radha Madan Mohan, Shri Jagannath Baldev Subhadra Maya, Shri Gaur Nitai. Right? So, these instructions from Rishabdev have to be read. You all have to invest in buying this Srimad Bhagavatam and read it every day. And these instructions are there throughout. It's Amala Puran, spotless Puran. Everywhere you see, there are beautiful instructions which will motivate you to go to God. And happily go to God. Pratipadam Purnamrita Swadanam. At every place you will find happiness. That is the beauty. Any other activity in this world will show that happiness is there, but happiness is really not there. Huh? People even go to temples for getting visa. Right? People go to temple. I have literally seen one person going with all documentation of visa. He's standing there. You know the temple, right? Visa Balaji temple. It's not Visa Balaji, it's Balaji temple. But that Balaji is also wondering, what kind of fellow you are? I am trying to give you visa to come back to Vaikunta. You want to go to Kuntha. Right? What visa you want? And the glories of Srila Prabhupada is he has created not one temple to go back to Vaikunta or Goloka. He has created thousands of temples from where we all can go to Goloka. Right? Simply by going there. Even in Hyderabad, there are so many places where Srila Prabhupada's army, we are trying to send people to Goloka. We also want to go, but going alone is maza nahi, na? We'll take 10 people and go. What do you say? Huh? Yes. Some proper disabled told, there is no question if a devotee is going back or not. There is no question. The only question is how many is taking with him. That is the only thing that people don't know. There is no doubt. Are itna happy place. Don't you want to have this morning program throughout the day? Huh? Don't you want to have this kind of day throughout the month? And don't you want this kind of day throughout the year? Yes, that is possible when you go there. Otherwise, you will take birth again. You will again join whatever that engineering college, or some people will join CA, right? Debit to credit, debit to credit, debit to credit. Nothing will tally. Yamaraj will say, "Tera debit baki aaja beta." Right? What is the point you're trying to achieve? Right? Better come here. Better go to all the places. There are so many. I'm so happy to see there are so many youth here. All glories to the youth preaching team, in our Iskcon. Hari bol, Hari bol. Yeah, see, this is what is needed. When youngsters are coming, normally old people, most of the old people, what are they telling when youngsters are going? ఎందుకు పోతున్నారా ఇప్పుడే? ముసలోడు అయిన తర్వాత పో. నువ్వు వస్తావా? నేను ఎందుకు వస్తా? Will you come? I'll not come. You understanding, right? Old people, they will not allow youngsters to go. They will also not go. What will they sit and do? Right? They will sit in a group, open one paper like this. నా ప్లాటు తెల్లాపూర్, ఈ రేటు 5,000, ఆ రేటు 10,000. Right? They don't know that their plot is already created 6 feet. Right? For their body. They're not understanding what is most important thing in life. They're not focusing. They're not focusing. Prabhujis and Matajis, we have this great opportunity. Rishabdev is telling, don't get attached to even the process that is taking you to the Krishna. Means what? This yoga, this jnana. Oh, I will read more books. I'll understand more things. I will do this. I'll do that. Even that is a danger when you get attached to that. Don't get attached to that. Very focused. Vyavasayatmika buddhir. Ekehe kurunandana. Very clear. I want to go back to you, Krishna. No other deviations in between. And what to speak of yoga, even after coming to devotional process, we should be very careful. This is especially for devotees, practicing devotees also. That we should be very careful. What are we getting attached to here and where are we getting sense gratification? Very recently, one senior devotee came and told, there are 3 services you should not do unless you are asked to do. One is doing DT worship. Second, doing Kirtan. Third, giving a class. Because tremendous source of sense gratification happens here also. Unknowingly you will be attached. Right? Because how DT worship? I have done, I have decorated, I have alankar, I have done all the clothing and everything. Then you come outside and you wait. Who will come and tell me I did it? Huh? Or somebody else did it. You'll stand there and think, he didn't know how to do. I don't know when they'll learn. Right? So what did that whole devotional process do? Of course you did the devotion too. You are going to go back. Narad Muni also told, little, swalpame apye dharmasya. Even little that you did will take you back to Krishna. But if you develop pride in what you are doing, that can also create a problem. That is what he's telling here. Don't give up devotion. The means are important, but the means are not the goal. The means are to serve Krishna. Right? Even doing Kirtan. Nobody can do Kirtan like me. Hare Krishna. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is thinking, I asked you to do Kirtan. And you are trying to tell that nobody can do Kirtan like you. And what is the point? Right? Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj, when he was leaving his body, he called a person who is generally not called to do Kirtan. Because he wanted to hear Kirtan. Not relish Kirtan. Right? He wanted to hear the holy names and not get diverted by the tune. Of course, tunes are needed in the initial times, in the initial days. Tune is also good. In temple, we need to have somebody who does good Kirtan. It attracts new people. But then that person doing Kirtan should not think I am the only one who can do proper Kirtan. Huh? And what to do the service of giving lectures? Highest source of sense gratification. Because if I go to my house and tell my wife, I want to tell you something, she'll just walk away. Here I have 100 people to tell. Hare Krishna. Everybody are forced to sit here. I can nicely tell whatever I want to tell. It's a great source of sense gratification if I look at it like that. But if I am trying to repeat the words of Bhagavatam and trying to stick to those words and trying to pass the message, and most importantly, I myself am contemplating on what is written here and I want to apply in life, then this will take me back home, back to Krishna. Otherwise, sitting on this Vyasasana, which is actually Vyasasana, we should not forget that. Because sometimes when people are too much boosted up giving lecture, they feel, it's actually my asana, I gave it on rent to Vyasdev. Huh? Or, they can, when they are telling verses also, they can start thinking, oh, I am the one who actually understood Bhagavatam. And no, I'm telling this in context of the verse, that the path that takes you there, the mediums which takes you there, if you get attached to that, that is also a big danger. I can come and sit and tell, that I am the only one who gives the best lecture. And you are all very fortunate that you are coming and hearing from me. And because you heard from me, you all will go to Goloka. Because you heard from me. Aham sarvasva Prabhu. Matta sarvam pravardate. I am actually the main person here who can take you all back. It can happen. I only want to give lecture every day. Nobody else will be allowed. Because any other person will take that person in different directions. I am the only one who is taking in one direction. Ekaha Gurunandana. Gurunandana. Right? Matta parataram nanyat. No other one. No one else is equal to me or higher than me. All the verses of Bhagavad Gita can be interpreted in a different way if you try to keep yourself in place of Krishna. It can happen. Maya is not just outside the temple, outside everywhere. Maya is actually with us wherever we go. And that is exactly what Rishabh is telling. Focus on devotion. Don't give up devotion. Even the means that take you towards God, those means also can be dangerous if you don't keep God in the center. Right? We want bhakti in the center. Not we in the center. But most of the time, that's the nature of human. That's the reason we are in this material world, right? Kamagnina achyutarusha sudurbarena. We are kamagni. It's like a fire which is not allowing us to think anything logical or anything meaningful. We want to enjoy. We want to be in the center. But here, Rishabh Dev is telling, follow my instructions. Chant the holy names of Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Be satisfied by chanting that. And chant more number of rounds. With every passing here, I was hearing this from His Grace Revati Prabhu in one youth lecture. He was telling that after a certain age, at least after 40 years, every Kartika Mass increase one round, mandatory. So that by the time you reach 70, you are not chanting 16, you are chanting 46. Right? You have to voluntarily push your mind to chant the holy names and beg for the taste. And always ask for the devotion. And the easiest and the surest way to make progress in bhakti is to hold the feet of a pure devotee. And not only the feet of a pure devotee, everybody else who is representing that pure devotee. Most difficult thing to do. Because our ego will not allow. Right? But if we try our best to do that, like Srila Prabhupada is here. He's still here. He will always be here. And his representatives are here. So many wonderful senior devotees are here. So many Bhakti Riksha leaders are here. So many youth preachers are here. Hold their feet. Hold their feet means what? Pakad ke unko girao mat. Hold their feet means hear what they are telling. And try to do more than what they are telling. They are telling chant more. Serve more. Preach more. Distribute books more. Spread the mission of Krishna consciousness wherever you can, to whomever you can. I'll end with one small incident that happened just last Wednesday. One customer came to my office, American. He was going to many other companies here. Everybody are giving presentations and finally came to my company. And everybody was trying to tell, oh, this is him. And I'm not telling the names, but one of the big multinational company, customer, American. And he was hearing the speeches of everybody. We have this practice, we have that practice, we have this super center of excellence, this software, this. I was waiting for my opportunity. And as soon as everybody finished, I took one Bhagavad Gita and gave it to that customer. And I told, now you have the greatest wealth of India, please take it with you. And you know what he told? I'm not telling because I did it. Everybody else does that. You know what he told? Shri Radha Madan Mohan is hearing this. He told, I have been searching to buy this book since the time I came to India. I don't know where to buy it. Thank you for giving it. And throughout the remaining 2 hours he was there in the office, any conference meeting, I don't know what made him do that. He was holding Bhagavad Gita like this. He was not even keeping it in a table. As if actually he came to India and he wanted to buy this book. Huh? To all the youth that is sitting here, try to hear this. Whole world is taking shapat on Bhagavad Gita, the greatest of the leaders. Right? Tulsi Gabbard has taken shapat on Bhagavad Gita. Kash Patel, the head of FBI today, is taking shapat on Bhagavad Gita. And we are not holding Bhagavad Gita in our bags, in our houses, or rather we are keeping Bhagavad Gita as it is, as it is. We are not really spending time to study it. Whole world is seeing this. We are the ambassadors chosen by Srila Prabhupada to spread this message and to practice this message, most importantly. Practice this message. Enthusiastically do what you're doing. Right? Do I look like an unhappy person? In the house I look like, but outside at least I'm laughing. No, in the house also I'm happy. Why? Because all my family is filled with devotees. And even if I try to run away, they'll catch me. Kucho, finish your rounds. We have to create that kind of environment around us. Association we have to create if we don't have. Wherever we go, have that association around us. And practice devotional service with enthusiasm. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. Any reflections, any questions, any thoughts, Prabhuji? Please forgive me if I spoke anything.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dhanavad Pranam. Thank you, Prabhuji, for wonderful class. So we are hearing the importance of devotional service. So one cannot give up the devotional service, but in any circumstances, if one give up the devotional service, then we can develop the pride, anger, arrogance, harshness, and ignorance. If devotional service is given, then one can develop pride, anger, arrogance, harshness, and ignorance. What one thing we can do to quickly retain that we are doing the devotional service, we should not develop this thing. What one thing we can quickly remember? What one thing we can do to quickly remember that we are doing the devotional service, we should not give up this.
Hare Krishna. Your name, Prabhuji?
Pankaj.
Pankaj Prabhu is asking that we are performing devotional service and for some reason if we get deviated, please let me know if the question is right or wrong. I'm just repeating your question. That if you leave devotional service due to your desires, lusty desires, anger, pride, anarthas, what do you do to come back again and start with the same enthusiasm?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Right? Hare Krishna. That's there in the 6th canto of Bhagavatam. Our dear Ajamil did the same thing. Right? He was performing devotional service. He was brought into devotion by his parents, by the culture, everything. But then he unnecessarily allowed his senses to seize things which are not favorable for devotion. Dhyayato Vishwapumsan, Sangasthya Jupadayate, Sangat Sanjayate Kama, Kama Krodha Vijayate. Exactly what you told. Krishna is already telling. Krodha also will come. Right? So, what did he do? He started chanting. When he realized that I have messed up my life by getting deviated from what I was doing, I got attracted to so many other things. Then when he chanted Narayana's name, even though unknowingly he chanted, actually called his son, whose name is Narayan. Right? It's fortunate that his son's name is Narayan. Otherwise, these days, I don't know what names people are keeping. If you call your son, even a dog can come, because both names are same. But keep God's names. Nicely keep God's names. Right? Narayana, Krishna, Mukunda, Murari. Right? Beautiful names are there. So he kept that name for his son and he called, that name, and his son came. But at the same time, even Yamadutas and Vishnu Dutas came, and then they had a conversation. Please read Bhagavatam again. And in that conversation, it was told, all you need to do is refocus back by chanting the same name of Narayan, the same name of Krishna again. Prabhuji, we always keep telling chant, 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 chant. There is a reason behind it. By chanting, you are telling Krishna that there is nobody else more important in my life than you. Whose name you are taking more times in a day? Any friend you have? Say Murthy is your friend. Murthy, 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 Murthy. How many times you will do?
Many
If
times.
you are taking somebody's name so many times in a day, is that person not the most important person? And you are also telling that person you are the most important person. So if I am chanting Hare Krishna mantra 108 times, 16 rounds, that means how many times I am telling Krishna's name? And Krishna utna to thoda dekega na. Arey, you are chanting my name so many times. Let me give some opportunity to you to serve my devotee to come back to me. Right? And while you chant that name, you are also telling Krishna, please help me come out of these anarthas. I cannot do it. You can help me. Please give me the taste. I'm begging you, Krishna. Kuch bhi karo. Huh? Whatever I'm leading a life, money, education, whatever I've taken, this is only for maintaining this body. But Krishna, my soul, me, I'm crying inside. I'm not able to fight with these anarthas. Please let me chant your names nicely without any anarthas. Like in the temple, we chant 10 offenses to the holy names. I'll try to avoid those offenses, but for that also, please, I need your strength. So when you restart your devotion, doing the right thing in this age of Kali, Hare Nama, Hare Nama, Hare Nama eva kevalam, Kalau, Nasteva, Nasteva, Nasteva. There is no other way, there is no other way, there is no other way. So if I am trying to answer your question, and Vedavyas is already telling there is no other way, what is there to answer? You have to chant. Chant the names of Krishna enthusiastically with loving devotion. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. And when you chant like that, what it does, it removes the tendencies of doing sin. Sometimes sins won't go, but the tendency to do will decrease, and slowly you will go to a point where you have an opportunity to do the sin, but you will say, you know what? I don't feel like doing it. It's not you. It's Krishna who has already acted and he has changed your tendency. So go back to the basics. Sit in the Mangalarti, come for the Mangalarti here. Very enthusiastically they dance 4:30 in the morning. Right? And nicely they chant their round, Tulsi Arati, Narsingh Arati. Here Bhagavatam class every day. Wonderful Bhagavatam classes are given by devotees here. Every single day. Try to structure your day in such a way that you are coming here, and then you see your anger also will go down. Lust, pride, greed, so many things will go down. And most importantly, rather than these things going down, one thing is going up, and that is devotion. Devotion will go up. Is that okay, Pankaj? Hare Krishna.
And Prabhuji, like it is mentioned that we should give up the yoga and philosophical thought and take up the devotional service. But if we do yoga, then we will be fit, in the sense that yoga is taking us to devotional service.
You guys?
Like yoga, if you are doing yoga, then we become fit.
We become fit.
And if we are fit, then we can do devotional service regularly, daily.
Correct.
So can we say that yoga is a means, like if we do yoga regularly, then we can do the devotional service properly. So can we say, should we give up this yoga?
No. Prabhu, yoga means to connect. First of all, yoga is not a, we only think yoga means Ashtanga yoga. To sit straight and take the breath, focus on your nose, right? All those things are there in Bhagavad Gita also, Krishna says. But Arjuna at the same time says that what you're telling seems to be very impractical. Of course, I'm not going in that heavy direction, but answering to you, doing yoga, there is nothing wrong. Actually, you should do yoga. Some devotees also say that if your mind is too much, going around, just do a little pranayama and then start chanting. So what are we doing? We are focusing on Krishna. In fact, to chant, there is a good posture that is needed. There is a good place that is needed. Good pronunciation is needed. Right? All these things. And in that posture means what? To sit straight. To sit straight. If I relax like this and then do chanting, then you're not really chanting. Yoga means to do things in the perfect way. In a good, healthy mind, healthy body. Right? Even Krishna says, eating too much is bad, eating too less is also bad. Sleeping too much is bad, sleeping too less is bad. This is all part of yoga only. Niyama, what is that? Niyama, anima. Yama, niyama, sorry. Hare Krishna. Yeah, yama, niyama. We should follow yoga. But yoga itself should not become goal of life. I'll tell you what happens many times. People get attracted to that yoga path and they forget about God. And all they're thinking about is yoga only. See, not only yoga, even the path, even say cow protection. You're doing to do go seva. To whom? For why? Namo Brahmanyaya Devaya, Gau Brahmanaya. That you should not forget. Jagaditaya Krishnaya Govindaya Namo Nama. You should not get deviated. Right? Something like nationalism. Mera Bharat Mahan. That's great. We have to save our Sanatana Dharma. That's great. But at the end of the day, what? Develop devotion. We should not forget that. Yoga and so many other paths are there which are telling us that, we should keep ourselves fit in good mental state, good physical state, good knowledge state, even reading a lot of books. We sell so many books. Prabhupada has translated 80 plus books. We should read all of them. But at the end of the day, those books are to connect us to Krishna. If we forget that and then we say, okay, I want 87th book, 90th book, 91st, no problem. As long as they are improving our chanting. Right? Our main principle is chanting and, following the 4 principles, regulative principles, and leading a clean life, being respectful. Trinadapi sunichena, tarorapi saishtuna, amananiya manadena, kirtane sadahari. If my yoga is making me Trinadapi sunichena, if my philosophical knowledge is making me tarorapi sahishtuna, right? And attending classes is making me amananiya manadena, then kirtane sadahari. You'll go back to Krishna. Yeah? Hare Krishna. It's 9:10. Prabhu, how much time can we take questions? I don't know. 5 minutes? Okay. Please let me know when to stop.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
So, till now I understood, like in Bhagavad Gita, when Krishna mentioned, like we have to be unattached to our results of the karma. Like whatever we do activity, we should not be attached to the results.
We should be attached to the results.
We should not be attached to the
We should
results.
not be attached to the, yes.
And today we learn, like we should not attach to the process of liberation. So my question is, I want to understand, like when we are doing devotion service, there are 9 stage devotion service, Shravanam Kirtanam. So should we attach to this process or not? And what should be our mood while doing in devotion service when we are following this process?
Hare Krishna. So, Prabhuji, thank you for the question. I'll try to answer. Maybe, some senior devotee can give it even better answer to this. My simple answer to this is, process is to achieve a goal. And as long as the goal is in our consciousness while we are performing that process, attachment to the process is not a problem. Problem is when you forget the goal and still are attached to the process. That is where the problem comes. Right? That I want to achieve lotus feet of Krishna. If I forget that and I'm doing Kirtan, and that Kirtan becomes musical, I'll tell you, once I saw, it can happen in Kali Yuga, that there was a Kirtan Mandali, they are doing Kirtan, and another Mandali came, and they also wanted to Kirtan. Their time has started, he is not finished yet. He is just trying to finish it. And he became so angry. Hey, get up, what is this? My time has come, it's my time. And then this person became even more angry. I'll not finish, go, what do you want to do? Hari Kirtan is happening. But what exactly is there happening in between both those devotees? They are attached to the process, but they forgot the goal. If he would have loved the Kirtan, he would have waited for the Kirtan to get over. Because Kirtan is to chant. And if he would have loved the Kirtan, he would have allowed somebody else to chant because he wants to hear others. Right? But when you forget that, even the 9 process of bhakti can become, 9 process of bhakti are never an obstacle. But if you forget Krishna, they will become an unknowingly your obstacle in that. You create it. Right? I want to hear. Please hear. But what you are hearing is very important. Right? I want to do Pada Sevanam. Whose Pada Sevanam is also important. Right? So, we have to see, we have to always hear from senior devotees the importance of devotion. And actually this verse, Rishabdev is telling for a reason. After telling so many verses on what to do, he is also telling what not to do. Or where we should not go, we should not lose the... In fact, in Canto 1, Parikshit Maharaj, when he asked the questions to Sukadev Goswami, one of the questions he says, what I should hear and what I should not hear also he asked. Right? What is the need to ask what I should not hear? When he already told what I should hear. Because we have a tendency to do something that we should not. So better you also tell me what not to do. So we will be attached to the process of devotion. Everything that Prabhupada gave, we will be attached to the process of devotion. But not for my enjoyment, for the enjoyment of Krishna. Rishikena, Rishikesha Sevanam, Bhakti Ruchate. As long as that is there, you already know this, Prabhu. I'm just trying to.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Srila Prabhupada ki. Nitai Gaur Hari Premanande. Hari Hari Bol. Hare Krishna.
His Grace Lilanand Prabhu ji ki.
Down, down. Down, down. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much.